Let's talk curfews for a moment. As Julian was mentioning in the Live Center earlier, Fayetteville City Council is expected to vote on a curfew for kids and teenagers tonight. The rule says that they have to be kids back home by midnight on weekdays and 1 a.m. on weekends. But there is a lot to consider here. For instance, do curfews work? If they did work, do police even have the resources to enforce them? And what rights do people actually have when it comes to curfews? We're going to touch on that for just a moment. Cities, of course, have been passing curfew rules for decades now. In that time, lawsuits and court decisions have given us a better picture of what's actually legal. So let's go in depth. Now, you might be thinking, hey, these are just kids, right? They're under 18, they're juveniles, they don't have the same rights as adults, and that's actually true on several fronts. The U.S. Supreme Court case from the 70s ruled minors can be treated differently in many cases because of, quote, the particular vulnerability of children, their inability to make critical decisions in an informed, mature manner. Of course, minors do still have First Amendment rights, so curfews must include exemptions for that sort of thing. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and assembly, all right there among the exceptions included in Fayetteville's rule, though it's still open to interpretation, isn't it? No, officer, this isn't a party, it's my right to assemble, that sort of thing. Of course, we also have to think about the parents. What are their rights? Shouldn't it be up to parents to make the rules for their kids and decide how to discipline them, not city council? Well, we look to Virginia, a court case there from 1998. A group of parents challenged a curfew in Charlottesville, saying it infringed on their right to raise their children. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals found that a town curfew actually did not target parents' overall rights, but simply the right for parents to control their children's movement. The court ruled that right is not an intimate family decision that could be entitled to protection. Now, these are all cases from outside of our state. North Carolina, the courts here don't really have much history when it comes to youth curfews, but we do know state law allows them to exist. It says a county may be an appropriate ordinance impose a curfew on persons of any age less than 18. But that's about it. Even the U.S. Supreme Court, they haven't really taken up juvenile curfew laws before. The court had a chance in 1976, but they turned that case away. So there's still a lot of questions we don't know the answers to. How a curfew would impact the rights of an adult who, let's say, just looks young. What I mean is, can an officer stop and question a young-looking 20-year-old walking to work, for instance, just because they have a baby face? And what happens if the initial stop then leads to something else, maybe something more serious? These are questions we still need answers to. But in the end, as it often does come to with police, what this really comes down to is, do we trust law enforcement to exercise the power that we provide them? In this case, the power of a curfew. Let me know what you think about this. Email me at dan@WRAL.com. We'll let you know, of course, what happens in Fayetteville, but reach out to me for anything. We love to discuss it right here. We will go in depth.